Hey, what's up guys? And first of all, if you haven't seen it yet, brand new series over on Anime King 2. What if Naruto was obsessed with becoming perfect? So go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. So yeah, welcome back to Anime King and I'm back with part 7 of What If Naruto Was Toji with the 8 inner gates. Remember to get this to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, if you haven't seen the other channels yet, don't forget to go ahead and check them out. All links will be in the description, so go ahead and check out Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Symbol, and Anime Prince, and enjoy them guys. And if you want to see your what if done by me, simply comment on any of the latest videos, and I'll jot down your idea for future use. So without further ado or wasting more time, let us begin this now guys. So, to do a bit of a recap for the last part that we left off, when Naruto woke up he was in the hospital. He saw the way the nurse was treating him. Her behavior seemed rather strange to Naruto. With that said and done, Might Guy came in. As Naruto entered the 8 gates on pure instincts alone, he did not even realize, but Naruto was confused how he was still alive. Guy told him that he had his theories on this, even in the beginning, believing that Naruto would survive because of how strange his body was, and he believed that Naruto would prevail. Naruto was amazed by that. Sakura came in. She was so happy to see that Naruto was awake, as she told him that the third had passed away. When Naruto went to visit his grave, the people around Konoha treated him differently. They truly saw him as what he was from the beginning, a hero. As Jiraiya came to speak to him, they headed out sometime later to find the new Hokage. As Naruto came face to face with the Akatsuki for the first time, Kisame, a powerhouse, went toe to toe with Naruto and learned why Naruto was able to take down a tail beast. Their battle would have completely destroyed the hotel, but Jiraiya arrived, stopping their battle. But Sasuke was able to fight Itachi and learned that, despite the years of training, despite all that he's done, he was still not on Itachi's level, fueling his grief and anger and rage to everything, society, everyone around him. The group continued on after Might Guy arrived and take Sasuke back to the village. They finally came across Tsunade, which immediately led to a fight between Naruto and her. However, they made a deal. In the end, one of them would prevail. Naruto learned about Tsunade more from Shizune. He was surprised. Not knowing how deep her pain went, he started to watch her, study her. Near to the final day, Shizune told them what was going on. When Naruto arrived, his intention was to kill. Jiraiya had arrived, and the doses that Tsunade had given him, he was unable to properly fight. Naruto went. As he came after Kabuto and Orochimaru, they pushed him as Naruto kept on ramping up the gates. His intention to kill Orochimaru right there and then, but the Sannin was slippery, he was tricky, he was powerful. As Naruto ramped it up, Orochimaru was caught off guard when Naruto opened the 8 gates. He believed that Naruto would die, but Orochimaru had no choice. He sacrificed Kabuto without a second thought, as Naruto punches reduced Kabuto to shreds. He ripped him apart right there and then, like he was absolutely nothing. Orochimaru used the moment to flee for his life. Naruto collapsed, much better off than the first time he used the 8 gates. Tsunade thought that he was going to die, but she was surprised, as she agreed that she would come back with them. The village saw Naruto in a much greater light even now, as they saw him as their hero, as he was in a much higher light. He brought back the new Hokage for them. Sakura and they all were at the hospital when Sasuke woke up, along with the others. We then skipped to Orochimaru, who called in someone else. It was Guren. She would become his new number 2. Orochimaru heard that Naruto was alive and well in Konoha. No longer did he desire the body of the Uchiha, but now he wanted Naruto's body. He would transplant the Sharingan. He saw how adaptive Naruto's body was even to the curse mark. Orochimaru would stop at nothing to have it. So yeah guys, basically as per left off, you guys can switch across the play, check out for yourselves as we begin this new episode. The news had came as a surprise, as Naruto refused to believe it. He refused to believe that Sasuke went willingly. Despite hearing that this news came from Sakura, Naruto was having a very hard time believing that Sasuke would do something like that, struggling to understand. A group was currently gathered at the gate. Shikamaru stood there at the center of the group. This was the retrieval team. Neji was there. Choji was there. Kiba, Shikamaru, and Naruto. They were all here for one purpose: retrieve Sasuke Uchiha. They were interrupted by Sakura. Her gaze was on Naruto. As the others stood in silence, she pleaded with him. Naruto could feel her pain, her sorrow. He think of Sakura as a close friend of his. He placed a hand on both of her shoulders. "I'll bring him back, no matter what," said Naruto. It started with Jirobo. He tried to trap them. Naruto blasts outwards, like it was made of paper. Shikamaru came up with the idea for them to split up. They had to use time, as the Sound Ninjas were trying to use time against them. One by one, members dropped off until he showed up. A man that could release his own bones. Kimimaro. Kimimaro had this look in his eyes, like he knew something that they did not. Finally, Shikamaru told Naruto to go ahead. As Naruto went after him, Kimimaro stopped running in the clearing. When his gaze met with Naruto's, he seemed rather amused. "I will be the one to stop you," he said. He said this in a strange way, but Naruto did not care about that. His sole focus was retrieving Sasuke. He did not care about the enemies. He will pick them all apart like they were nothing. Kimimaro, always trying to prove himself, especially since Orochimaru called for Guren. He did not like that, as it was Kabuto at first and now Guren. Kimimaro hated that. There was a plan. However, he was smart enough to send word. As he had dashed through the trees, he gave the signal that Naruto was amongst them. But he believed that he would be the one to take Naruto down. But this wasn't a part of the plan. When they clash, Kimimaro understand more why Orochimaru was so concerned. When Naruto outmaneuvered him and hit him so hard his bones rattled, his so-called indestructible bones, when he dropped to his knees, when Naruto shattered his chest bones and launched him through the foliage. When he tried once again to attack and Naruto grabbed his arm and snapped it over his knee. His dance was fast, but Naruto was faster, stronger, even with his so-called indestructible bones. However, an explosion stopped their fight. It was Sasuke. But something was wrong. Something was not right. Sasuke, Naruto called out, but Sasuke did not turn. "Sasuke," Naruto said. Sasuke ran off, dashing through the foliage. Naruto was confused. What he's been suspecting, what he was hoping that was false, that they forcefully took him. Kimimaro used the opportunity as he blitzed behind Naruto. It's over, he said, only for Rock Lee to come in and send him sailing. Backup has arrived. Not that Naruto needed though. But Lee looked towards him, seeing the broken coffin. He didn't know the full situation, but he knew Sasuke wasn't here. Something must have happened. Go, he said to Naruto. I will stop this one right here and now, he said. Naruto nodded towards him and took off. Kimimaro tried to intervene, but Naruto was much too fast, blazing through the foliage. As Lee was upon him, your opponent is mine now. Kimimaro looked disappointed, as if he failed. Well, in a sense he did. But there was no stopping Naruto now. Sasuke! His shout finally stopped the Uchiha. He landed before they could reach his stone heads. The sky above started to darken. As Naruto stood there. What the hell are you doing? The village is this way, said Naruto, trying his best to see the better part of this, to see some kind of hope in this very bleak moment. Go back to the village. Don't follow me. Sasuke said, Go back? I can't do that. We're a team. You're my friend, said Naruto. I can't just let you go. You're making a wrong decision here. A very stupid decision. And I can't just stand by and watch you do this. Sasuke turned, his eyes looking so small. You don't understand me, he said. You can't. You never could. I don't want your friendship. I don't want your pity. I want strength. I want revenge. I want to kill him. And the village, you can't give me that. If it means sacrificing my bonds, sacrificing everything until now, I will, without hesitation. So leave. Just leave me alone. Naruto was surprised, his face becoming somber. You know, I was never good at the whole friend thing. It was never my thing, said Naruto. My entire life, I've never really had people close to me until I met my sensei. Naruto said, as he took a breath and gazed up towards the heavens. Sakura, she asked me if I hated you guys, but I didn't. I just wasn't used to the friend thing. But over time, we did become friends, didn't we? We train, we laugh, we spar. You've seen how strong I am. You think I did this on my own. I didn't. I know seeing your brother must have been hard, Sasuke, but trust me, this is not the right way. Say you do kill your brother, but what then? Who will you have? What will you have? Konoha will be your enemy. You will be on the run. Is this truly the life that you want? Sasuke clenched his fists. He was about to say something until Naruto felt something strange. He looked up towards the other side. Something was coming. A woman emerged. Blue hair. She gazed down towards the both of them, right on time. Naruto snapped his head to the right and to the left. He knew they were there. This is just perfect, she said, jumping down. She landed beside Sasuke. He turned and moved away. Who the hell are you? Sasuke, get away from her, said Naruto. Orochimaru sent me. Sasuke let his guard down just for a moment, and she capitalized on that, chopped him in the back of the neck. Naruto dashed forward. However, it was a barrage of kunais and shurikens, forcing him to jump back. As the army, a literal army, started to march outwards. Orochimaru said it himself. This boy was a threat. She will take whatever she needs, whatever is at her disposal. Orochimaru gave her a lot, so much, along with an army, to take down other armies for this one boy. But it wasn't just fighting, it wasn't just weapons, something else. Naruto was surrounded. "It's over," she said, as the sound ninjas picked Sasuke up. "You think I'm gonna let you take him," said Naruto. "Oh, we're not just here for him, sweetie," she said with a smile. "We're also here for you." "Well, if that is it, I'll kill every last one of you," said Naruto, the mood immediately changing. Naruto pulled his staff. The creature opened its mouth as he pulled his staff out. He twirled it, like water flowing around him. "Take him down," Guren said. They leap, they jump. Naruto spun his staff in mid-air. Where they saw numbers, he saw bodies ready to be put down into the ground. Her special soldier, her group, gas canisters, special blades coated with all sorts of poisons. They were here for one reason only, to bring down Naruto Uzumaki. They poured outwards like a tide, a water wave ready to consume and drag him in. Naruto's first attack was like a blade going through silk. It was smooth, it was perfect. You could hear the bones shattering. You could hear the screams dying on their tongue. He moved with the kind of speed that made them doubt their eyesight, wondering if they were seeing illusions, or if there were copies of him that they could not see the real one. His dagger looped around throats with a chain attached. Heads were removed. Midsections were crushed. Throats were destroyed under his leg, stomped into the earth. He was moving like a demon amongst men. They tried to use their numbers. He sent their ranks exploding outwards when a kunai nicked him across the face. Instead of rage, it was a smile. The bloodlust, the environment, it started to get the better of him. He started to lose control. He started to go savage. The fifth gate came out like a storm. Naruto launched himself into groups of ninjas. He spun the staff, and the chain cycle twisting around it. 10 heads were removed within seconds. He landed, dodging strikes. He flipped and landed on a blade. He kicked the guy so hard you could see the friction when it made contact. His techniques, snapping out in his moves, pure raw, electric death. Guren stood there, waiting for the right moment, but truly terrified at what she was witnessing. Was this a man? Was this a child? It couldn't be. It had to be some demon in human flesh. Wherever he dropped his feet, the earth literally screamed. The staff causing cataclysmic damage. The brain cells crushing out, snuffing out people like their life did not mean nothing. Orochimaru had warned her about this. This boy was not simply wild. When he truly got into the battle, he became a monster, a beast that is cornered, an animal that is caged. And that is when his true instincts came out. And they were not just violent, they were deadly. Those men down there, they were cattle. And they were in the way of a wolf, trapped in a barn. They would fail. So she decided to pull the measures that were needed, the extreme measures, because they could not stop him. Fear was a powerful tool, also a bit of mental manipulation. Those that were close to her jumped forward, as they were specially rigged with gas canisters, sacrificing their life without a doubt, exploding right near Naruto. The choking fumes filled the sky. Others exploded with special shrapnels aimed directly for him. Naruto flipped and crushed, holding his breath. The first wave did not stop him. He cut through them. He tore through them. Limbs were sent sailing. He held his breath and moved through them. Now, Guren said. Special members went through hand sign as they stepped forward. Guren placed her hand on their head. They were able to transmute her special bloodline. Each of them were made the way they were by Orochimaru. They were specially experimented upon. Crystal needles burst out of the ground like teeth in a massive mouth, and the ground was the mouth as they tried to pierce Naruto. Naruto leapt. However, the crystal grazed his feet, tearing through his sandals. It became worse. Their life was being used as Orochimaru did not care about them. The human body produced a certain amount of chakra, but without the cure for the human life. One tear through Naruto's leg, as the ground itself became a living weapon. Sacrifice the many for the one ideal, as even their own soldiers died, shredded to pieces. Naruto's durability fight off most of it, but even he was not truly indestructible. But as his blood spilled, his grin only widened even more. Excitement. He was happy. The pain fueled him. He started to move even faster like a phantom. They start to see mirage. Despite the blood as his heel cracked a man's skull, spraying more blood all over the place. He literally flipped and snapped someone's neck. The feel stink of iron and blood. You could smell, literally taste, the metallic feeling all over. But they still came. Ninjas wearing chokers that exploded, their bodies erupting in flames. It was more obvious than before that Orochimaru did not give a damn about the sacrificial lamb just to get what he deserved. He threw Kabuto to the wind like it was nothing to spare his own life, because all is meaningless in the face of his ultimate goal. Even man with acid, they tried to spray it on him, to burn him, to wound him. His body could always be healed. New skin could always be added. Just don't kill him. That was the only thing. Yet Naruto screamed with joy, even as his muscles tore, his tendons were attacked. Even as he bled, he smiled with pure excitement. The casualty was growing. Guren was starting to panic. She had to go to the extreme levels. Orochimaru told her to do whatever it takes. As she supercharged the experiments, they jumped forward, canisters on their back. However, her crystals inside of them, they were going to explode. But not to shrapnel outwards, but to embed. It was a special chakra that they possess. The unique measure of their body, forged by Orochimaru himself. They were nothing but puppets, as they were going to be the one to give her victory. Naruto saw them and met them head on, as he swung, taking down dozens. However, they erupted in a violent surge. The reason why they were so special was going to show right here as Naruto tried to escape, but they exploded. When the crystal shrapnels lodged into him, the micro crystals, these were special. They would bite into flesh and whole. This is where her plan truly kicks in. When the second blast came, this one was greater, at least 10 times. Naruto was blown through the statue. Blood exploded out of his mouth. Pain racked him, tearing through every part of him. All Naruto could see was white and crystals all around. That was all he could witness, all he could see. His own blood filled his mouth, warm and metallic, as he tasted it. The microcrystals, they embedded into his skin, all over, tearing into him. They were designed to mushroom inwards and then expand, to lock into his flesh, each one trying to tear into his tendon, each one trying to suppress him, each one trying to make him weaker. He tried to rise as the pain tore through him. He roared like a trapped beast, his scream splitting through the heavens. However, even as the blood dripped from him, even as the wounds that was supposed to put down any other person 10 times over, he refused to fall. The standard ninja would have been dead a long time ago. But yet, something awakened. Something dark, twisted. The microcrystals, the chakra inside of them, they were embedded and they were there to pull his muscles together, to cause his body to seize up, to lock up. Guren smiled. The sealing team was behind her. They were the main source here. She called them forward, each of them specially trained. Paralyzing seals because the chakra seals would not work on him. They will paralyze every single limb, every part of him, until he could no longer even twitch. You see that rage, that bloodlust inside of him? It turned into hunger. Something much more devastating. Gluttony. Twisted. Dark. It did not just turn. It exploded. The 8 gates. It literally exploded outwards. The sealing core had to stop. Red light, as his skin looked like it was being cracked apart. His eyes looking like he was going blind. His face twisting. His limbs moving like they were breaking. The amount of energy, the amount of power tearing from the depths of his soul. Naruto dug into his flesh and tore the crystals out. He bit them out and ripped them, tearing at his own skin like a madman as blood and flesh spray he did not care. He shouted, "Come on! Who's next?" His fist thrust outwards. He called it the Reaper Palm. It blew holes through armies, tearing through them. His legs sweep and remove head. You could see the force as Naruto was stepping on space itself, moving and crushing. He was like an unstoppable force. Walls, steel, weapons. They couldn't stop him. As Guy had said it himself. As Snavi had said it herself as well. They believed that Naruto power was still growing. And they were right. The gates were even stronger. Guren people knew that it was pointless. Not running in meant death anyways. However, the numbers were thinning out. She brought an army and they were dropping like flies. You could no longer see the ground, only body parts, and bodies scattered all over the place. Still they came. Guren used everything that Orochimaru gave her. Ropes that shot out with spikes. Acid, made like nets that could spring. Naruto was so powerful, and yet each of them chipped away at something, burned him, slashed him or something. The hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of men throwing their life on the line, willingly sacrificing themselves. Always a burn, always a stab, always a cut. They chipped away at him, the numbers falling and dying as they did. Naruto's insides were a mess. The crystals embedded in his skin still as he fought through the pain, not to mention the 8 gates, the rapid use 3 times now. Just because he doesn't die from it doesn't mean there isn't side effects. It was getting worse. Guren saw that he was slowing down slightly. The final move. Physical jabs. Bindings. Binding seals. They know they could not stop him with. Chakra seals. Paralyzing vipers. Like snakes. When they stab into him, sending a paralyzing wave through his body. To slow him down, his muscles were moving too fast. Certain things could not stop him easily. Guren summoned a wall as crystal shards rained down upon him. Their men hold him, using their bodies as tools even as he threw them off. Their numbers were too much. All of the equipments were revealed and used at that point. A chain dagger snapped around his neck. A staff hit at his knee. Steel and wires wrapped around him. Naruto punched, he kicked, he decimated until blood started to fill his mouth even more. Even as he fought through the pain, even as he go insane. Blood started to pour out of his mouth and nose. They tightened the bindings, wrapping them up as they summoned massive machines out of scrolls. Naruto's arm was yanked to the left, the other to the right. He pulled so hard that the machine started to creak. He then broke it, but another tear through his leg. As several of the men were ripped through in the process, but they got what they needed as it tore through his leg. Another then ripped through his shoulder in the hesitation that he took. His other leg, his other shoulder. They then expanding the wound before clamping down on his flesh. More than stabbed into his stomach area. Before they pulled him to the ground, the machines tightening and wrapping around him. He was bound and restrained. Guren then finally made her way down as Naruto was on his knees, bound and bloody and destroyed. Guren looked around. She brought hundreds upon hundreds of men. But as she stood here, less than 20 remained. But they got it done. Because if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for the shrapnels or the machines, if it wasn't for the sacrifices, they would all be dead. She reached and lifted his face. He was still alive. She knew about the 9 tails. Orochimaru told her everything. This would not kill him. The sealing team arrived. A coffin, but this one was special. This one was different. His body was tied in the steel cords as he was placed inside. The team picked it up, and with that they left, leaving the gore and destruction and death. They got what they wanted. Sasuke unconscious, and finally, Naruto unconscious as well. They got what they wanted. Time skip. It was Temari. She was the closest as she arrived to see her brother, Gaara, that took care of Kimimaro. Temari was hoping to see Naruto to thank him for saving her when Gaara went crazy. Tsunade had called for aid from the sand, but when they arrived to a massacre. Temari turned green. Immediately she threw up. She's seen gore before, but this was horrific. This was, she couldn't understand this. Naruto was nowhere to be seen. Gaara also wished to see him as well. Kakashi Hatake also arrived. Late, but he was here. But it was over. People found it hard to describe the scene that they were witnessing. The gore, the devastation, the destruction. All sound ninjas. All remaining. Orochimaru's forces were small. Extremely so now after the failed invasion, and now this. His forces were thinned down. Microscopic so. But he got what he needed, and Orochimaru did not care. As long as he had his best by his side. As long as he had the body that he desired. Nothing else truly mattered. When Sakura heard, she collapsed. Might Guy stood there, unable to believe it, as he too saw the carnage as well. Finally returning back, if he had been here, things would have been different. Tsunade froze. Images of what took place there. For now, it was just kept to a small group of people. Jiraiya wasn't here, but he will be back soon enough to know that Naruto was taken. She should have seen it. Orochimaru would of course been excited to have Naruto by force. He saw the boy transform, using the 8 gates. As Guy said it himself, Naruto was still a child. Naruto was still young. Despite using the 8 gates, Naruto was not nearly reaching the fully maximum force of the inner 8 gates. If Guy was to use it, yes, he would die, but he would be far stronger than Naruto. Simple reason, Guy was a fully adult, and the 8 gates would have fully utilized his body. Yes, Naruto's body was special, and that is why he was so strong. But Naruto still hadn't reached the pinnacle peak, which Guy surmised that would be far, far, far stronger than him if he used the 8 gate as an adult, where he fully utilized it, where it fully adapted to his body. But they wear him out. The specialists got there and saw it. It was Naruto that killed every single one of them. Hundreds fell. Seals, machines, they could see the dents in the ground. They indeed took him. They used all sorts of things, poisons and so many sacrifices. They wear him down. This was only Naruto's 3rd time using it. His body still hadn't fully adapted. This technique was meant to kill the user after all. As special as Naruto was, his body hadn't fully adapted to it. And they used that to their advantage. And now, he was gone. The news shot all of them like a rocket. Tsunade being brought back because of him, Sakura's friend, Guy's student, Kakashi's student. Neji, who had changed. Gaara. Temari. The news rocked all of them badly. Naruto had done so much, he had helped so many people, despite what he said in the beginning, but he was not a real people person. Yet, look at what he has done. Look at how much he has done. And now he was gone. Tsunade did not give a damn. Yes, they needed authority, yes. They needed word, but she would pay for her mistakes later. A specialized group was sent beyond the border to trespass into others' land. If it mean recovering Naruto, then she will face the wrath afterwards, but now they have to find him. Time has already passed. Orochimaru's bases were so vast. There was a reason why he's been able to hide away. Unfortunately though, as Konoha searched, Naruto and Sasuke's body was already being transported far, 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 far away from the land of fire, far away from the land of sound, far, far, far away. Time skip. Days later, Jiraiya returned back to the village. Shock. Him and Naruto had really connected over the month training. Jiraiya was happy to be there for his godson. They found the body. They found all the bodies. This was a sound ninja. Other daimyos making excuses that Konoha had trespassed in their land. The fire daimyo wanted to speak to Tsunade, but she stopped giving a damn when no one was found. She spoke to her own council. She was just letting them know. She was surprised though, when each and every one of them agreed they can handle the sound. They were a part of the group that attacked their village. The San apologized and there was work to rebuild their relationship, but no. Them and the sound had nothing. As she stood in front of Jiraiya and gave him the order, do whatever it takes. The daimyo was not going to be happy, but who cares? In this time, Orochimaru having Naruto, if he was to take Naruto's body with Sasuke's Sharingan, nothing would matter because the land of fire, the Konoha, as it stands now, none of it will exist anymore. Thus Jiraiya marched. Thus Tsunade gathered her people. The sound attacked them, but to go to the sound you had to go through other lands. And they didn't have the authority, but Tsunade did not care. If it means killing every single last sound ninja, they will retrieve Naruto. Orochimaru will not have him. As they got to work, Danzo Shimura in the scenes saw this as a perfect opportunity to make a move. If he had that boy's power, not to mention, he could use this to take the seat of the Hokage as well. using this against his current Hokage. As he smiled at that, her own loss of control will be her undoing, but Tsunade did not care. Not one bit, she being one of the first Hokages to actually deny the Fire Daimyo's call, showing that what truly matters here was power. People, they have to realize that. But in this situation though, she wouldn't allow the boy that saved her to be taken by that snake. She wouldn't. As Konoha people march. Meanwhile, Naruto was asleep when finally he started to stir. His wounds were mended. Unfortunately though, his body was stuck as he was lying down and he could not move. He was strapped down, special equipment, a special table, restrained. He could also see the IV drip as a very special toxin that paralyzed individuals was dripping into his system constantly. One dosage will not help, so an entire volley of the paralyzing agent was there, dripping into his system. He could not move. Naruto cursed and twisted, but he could not move. He shouted out, surprisingly able to move his mouth, surprisingly able to talk. The door opened as a sound ninja standing there gazed towards him, surprised. He ran off, leaving the door open. Moments later, Orochimaru arrived. Naruto could tell by the eyes, but his features looked different. A blue-haired man. The face that he was wearing. Ah, you're awake. You know, you are truly a miracle. Given what you've been through, you should have been unconscious for at least a month or two, maybe even be in a coma. But yet here you stand. Well, lie. I'm gonna kill you, said Naruto. You think this is gonna hold me forever? Oh, I know it won't. Even now, being able to speak to me is a miracle. You should be amazed by your body. You should be amazed by what you are. Orochimaru said, I mean, even my curse mark, you took it. And I have to say this, you literally made my curse mark your bitch. That should be impossible. But now, you wield it as if it is your second command. Orochimaru chuckled. I must say, never in my life, not even the first Hokage who is hailed as a god of shinobi, possessed the body that you do. Where is Sasuke? Where is he? Said Naruto. Oh, he's sleeping. But don't worry, he will be awake soon enough. You know, your village really loves you. Your Hokage is willing to break all sorts of rules. As we speak, Konoha ninja are marching through the land of sound to get you back. I am sure that this will lead into some kind of war. The others, seeing Konoha moving like this, seeing how valuable they take you. The future is gonna be amazing, Orochimaru said, and that's all because of you. But none of that really matters because I have what I want, and that's you. With your body and his eyes, I will be unstoppable. After a bit of tweaking, of course, we have to push you to your full potential to make you truly invincible. And then I will take you, Orochimaru said. Naruto struggled. This won't hold me. I won't let you take Sasuke. The binding shattered as Naruto ripped his hand out. Orochimaru's strike and knock him out. Amazing, the Sannin said. Truly amazing. Even the dosage was not enough. And it was just so much. He licked his lips in pure excitement. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. Peace, guys.